Greetings. Today we'll be going on a deep dive into the Lycanthropes of Tamriel. Akin to my last video on vampires, we'll be going into the origins of lycanthropy, as well as the different subtypes and notable events. Enjoy. Lycanthropy is a supernatural condition that transforms a person into a werebeast. It's also known by various names, including were-things, were-critters, man-beasts, skin changers, and skin shifters. Originating from the Daedric Prince Hircine, the term lycanthrope traditionally refers to individuals who transform into wolves, though it has evolved to encompass any similar beast transformation. Hircine, the Daedric Prince, is credited with creating lycanthropy during the early Merethic era. A significant tale states that he interfered with the nature of wolves, allowing them to shapeshift. The oldest tales of werewolves hail from the Khajiit and Bosmer, hinting that southwestern Tamriel was the point of origin. The earliest lycanthropes personally blessed by Hircine were known as the First Turned. One of the most notable among them is the Werewolf Lord Vykosa, a Khajiit woman from the early Merethic era. These beings spread their gift, thus disseminating the condition throughout Tamriel. Lycanthropy is contagious, primarily transmitted through tainted blood or saliva. There are multiple strains, each linked to a specific region in Tamriel. However, the most common one, turning individuals into werewolves, is prevalent across the continent. Upon contracting lycanthropy, individuals can transform into various werebeasts, with the type dictated by the specific strain they've contracted. An example is the Sienese lupinus disease, which eventually turns the affected into werewolves. The condition has two primary monikers: Hircine's gift for those who consider it a blessing, and Hircine's curse for its detractors. Due to the aggressive nature of lycanthropes, they've been feared and detested throughout Tamriel's history. Conversely, the Reachman Needs revere werebeasts, with Hircine being their chief deity. Hircine is known as the Huntsman, Lord of the Hunt, Master of Beasts, and the Master of the Chase. His sphere encompasses the hunt, the sport of Daedra, the greatest game, and the chase and sacrifice of mortals. He has a realm in Oblivion called the Hunting Grounds, where endless hunts take place, including hunting beasts, people, and other Daedra. He's often depicted with a spear and an elk's head or skull, which according to Khajiit myths belongs to Y'ffre's champion, the Grot Elk. While many in Tamriel worship him, he doesn't seek out adoration. His appeal comes from the thrill of the hunt, which can sometimes be taken to extremes. Hircine advocates for fair play in hunting, admiring those who can outsmart even the most formidable hunters. He often seeks and tests mortals, rewarding the worthy with his blessing. Known as the father of man-beasts, Hircine introduced lycanthropy to the world. Werewolves and similar creatures are considered his children. Lycanthropy is both a gift and a curse. While some cherish it, others regret their transformation, earning Hircine's wrath. Hircine's followers believe they will spend eternity in the hunting grounds, a paradise of endless hunts. Here, souls partake in a cycle of violence, rebirth, and magnificent hunts. Throughout history, Hircine has formed several relationships. The demi-prince, Diarola, is Hircine's daughter. There are hints at an alliance with Mehrunes Dagon, though details remain unclear. Daedra lords manage some of Hircine's spheres, like the Lord of Fishing, and he might even be associated with the Daedra Lord, Hollowjack. Ebonarm, also known as the Black Knight and the God of War, is Hircine's enemy. Depending on the culture, Hircine is worshipped or seen with great disdain. Hircine holds a significant position in the Reachfolk pantheon and is known by various names, each signifying a different aspect of his nature. Alrabeg, the hunter, associated with bountiful hunts. Storabeg, the man-beast, linked to werewolves and the gift of lycanthropy. Urikenbeg, the great dark stag, represents the force of nature. Gulabeg, the quick fox, a trickster compared to Lorcan. Rockabeg, the mighty bear, embodies strength and solitude. The Altmer despise Daedric influences, and their strict laws severely punish those who summon or worship Daedra, including Hircine. The Bosmer, due to the Green Pact, have a nuanced relationship with Hircine. Y'ffre, hailed as the singer, the storyteller, The god of song and forest, and the spirit of the present, stands as the central figure in the Bosmeri pantheon. Before this, life existed in a tumultuous, ever-shifting state known as the ooze. It was from this formless ooze that Yefre sculpted the Bosmer, setting a decree through the Green Pact that they must retain their given shape. Souls of Bosmer who breach this sacred pact are doomed to revert to the formless state of the ooze. They believe Hircine desires to revert the world to this chaotic state where life forms were not fixed. Some Bosmer will still turn to Hircine for the power of transformation, even though it is forbidden in their culture. Among Bretons, Druids see Hircine as the Elk of Arrows, symbolizing the cycle of life and death. The Glenmoral Word Witches have a varied relationship with Hircine. Some worship his wild side, while others serve his more benign aspects. In Khajiit culture, Hircine is known as the Hungry Cat, Beast Prince, Father of the Hunt, and Spirit of Pursuit and Purposeful Change. He is worshipped by many Khajiiti cultists and is associated with hunting and skin changing. Hircine's origins trace back to the second litter of Anur and Fedomai, who can be considered as something like an Adam and Eve in Khajiiti culture. Ancient Khajiiti texts speak of Hircine's unrequited love for Nirnai, the personification of Nirn in Khajiiti mythology, and his rivalry with Yefre. Hircine is believed to walk among mortals, and some even consider him the father of Nirnai's first litter, the shape of which was later bound by Azura. There exists a temple dedicated to Hircine on Predator Mesa in Anaquina. The mesa has a violent past and now serves as a challenge for hunters. The Keptu tribe worshipped Hircine and were aided by him in creating the Bloodroot Forge. This forge was abandoned and is considered a place of evil by neighboring Nords. The Nedic architecture features symbols potentially associated with Hircine, and they adorn their bear companions with markings symbolizing his favor. Nords view a lycanthropy as a curse that prevents souls from entering Sovngarde, the Nordic version of an afterlife. There are stories of Hircine's interactions with Nords, including legends of ghostly giants and his appearance with his hounds. The Skal, a subgroup of the Nords, see Hircine as a demonic god and fear the blood moon prophecy related to his hunts. The Reach folk have legends about Hircine's rise to power and his involvement in the creation of the world. Reach folk practices, like the Briarheart Ritual and the Bloodroot Forge, reflect their strong ties to Hircine. Hircine is believed to be connected to Reach magic, especially when the dark arts are involved. Numerous legends and stories among the Reach folk involve Hircine, highlighting his importance in their culture. While the Dunmer mainly worship other deities, some Daedric ruins dedicated to Hircine exist, indicating pockets of worship throughout Morrowind. There are many historical accounts involving Hircine. In the Merithic era, there are scant written records. Much about Hircine remains a mystery. Despite the lack of detailed records, it's believed Hircine introduced the curse of lycanthropy to Nirn during this period. The earliest recipients of this curse, dubbed the First Turned, were directly blessed by Hircine and are often equated with Moloch Baal's daughters of Coldharbour. In the First Era, Hircine, alongside Lamay Baal, was venerated as a guardian of shapeshifters. A notable encounter involved Thane Icehammer, who offended Hircine by unknowingly slaying several lycanthropes. In retaliation, Hircine wounded him with the Spear of Bitter Mercy, leading to a series of tragic events. Additionally, during this time period, the Coldharbour Compact was established between Sothasil and several Daedric princes, including Hircine, although its exact stipulations remain ambiguous. In the Second Era, a particular strain of vampirism, Noxophilic Sanguivoria, was believed to result from a pact between Hircine and Moloch Baal. Also during this time, Hircine took the role of the primary antagonist in the Elder Scrolls III Blood Moon. Being the complex force of nature that he is, Hircine is one of the more commonly revered Daedric princes, especially amongst hunters and lycanthropes. He is respected for the honor he displays, especially during the hunt. Unlike other Daedric entities, Hircine does not act out of sheer destruction. He maintains a neutral stance with those outside his interest, except when they become his prey. With lycanthropy, like all diseases on Tamriel, there come many symptoms, effects, and causes. An individual at first may experience vivid nightmares, invisible wounds from a lycanthropic attack, unexpected injuries, or periods of heightened senses after infection with Senes lupinus, unusual hair growth, especially around the ears, rapidly growing claws, and matted fur. Progressing from these initial symptoms, primary manifestation is the transformation into a werebeast. In beast form, lycanthropes gain increased height, strength, speed, resilience, and stamina. Their claws can harm even creatures immune to standard weapons. Their howl can even summon other werewolves, wolves, or bears. Lycanthropes can experience intense bloodlust, sometimes leading to loss of memory or delirium. Starving werewolves can turn feral and impulsive, especially when encountering mortals. As a way to combat lycanthropy, mortals have devised several defenses. Canis root wards off werebears. Wolfsbane and belladonna have been found to be particularly poisonous to werewolves and have been used in potions. And not to be forgotten, silver weapons are notably effective against werewolves and other werebeasts. With lycanthropy, not all transformations are created equally. Some transform every full moon or night, while others can control or resist the transformation. When experiencing bloodlust, strength can vary. Some might even turn feral if they can't control it, and usually lycanthropes don't revert to their original form upon death, but exceptions do exist. With lycanthropy, there are some effects that overlap in human form and beast form. The afflicted may retain physical traits like small patches of fur, scents indicating their nature as a werewolf, and immunity to diseases. Most lycanthropes are believed to go to Hircine's hunting grounds after death as some sort of afterlife, but this belief is contested. Some of Hircine's favorite can even transform into a complete beast rather than a werebeast. Although Senes lupinus is the primary vector for lycanthropy, around 582, the Second Era, the Grey Host unleashed a disease that targeted rogue werewolf packs. This ailment forced lycanthropes into beast form, driving them feral and contagious. A cure was eventually developed by an alchemist named Razir. As a result, King Styrich's werewolf soldiers, as part of the Grey Host, were damned to Cold Harbor due to a pact with Molag Bal. If one is affected with lycanthropy, not all hope is lost. Lycanthropy can be averted by curing its causative disease before the first transformation. Post-transformation, finding a cure is arduous. Starting with the conventional cures, the Glenmoral Word witches possess traditional cures like potions and scrolls, which have minimal side effects. However, they safeguard this knowledge and seldom offer it openly. Another method, the Glenmoral witches conduct a ritual in which an innocent is sacrificed, infected with the lycanthrope's curse, and then resurrected. The original lycanthrope then kills the victim again, eradicating their inner beast. Another way this can be done is by utilizing the magic from a Glenmoral witch's head. One can manifest their inner beast as a spirit and subsequently vanquish it, killing their inner beast. One of the most unique methods involves the Sylvanar, the voice of the people for the Bosmer, who outsiders usually only see as a political representative for foreign affairs, but they additionally serve as the legal, physical, and emotional representative of the Bosmer people. The Sylvanar can immediately cure green-packed Bosmer who unwillingly contract lycanthropy. A common theme in curing lycanthropy involves the lycanthrope confronting and expelling their inner beast. However, transmission to a person with latent hereditary lycanthropic genes can cure the donor due to the rapid onset in the recipient. An additional, yet desperate method involves the lycanthrope contracting vampirism. Normally, lycanthropes who are immune to disease can't be converted, yet a pure-blooded vampire can transform a lycanthrope into a vampire lord, substituting Hircine's gift with Molag Bal's. Lycanthropy is a very complex affliction that comes in many strains. Werewolves, lycanthropes capable of transforming into wolf-like creatures, have been a recurring presence in the Elder Scrolls universe. Associated primarily with the Daedric Prince Hircine, these creatures are both a gift and a curse to those who bear the disease known as lycanthropy. Hircine, The Daedric Prince is credited with creating lycanthropy and thus the werewolves. Werewolves were once Hircine's bloodhounds sent to hunt mortals. They are predominantly found in all regions of Tamriel and are the most common type of lycanthrope. Werewolves can be found in games like The Elder Scrolls Daggerfall, Blood Moon, Skyrim, and the Elder Scrolls Online universe. Werewolves possess super strength, super speed, and enhanced acrobatics. They have an enhanced sense of sight known as the Eye of the Wolf and can detect humans within 200 feet. Their health regenerates slowly, but feeding can expedite this process, and they are immune to common and blight diseases. Their claws are powerful weapons, and a bite can infect others with lycanthropy. Becoming a werewolf in Blood Moon, the Nerevarine can be infected during the Siege of the Skull village quest by encountering one of the 9 wandering werewolves. In Skyrim, one can become a werewolf by following the companion's quest line. The first transformation into a werewolf can be challenging, but with time, werewolves can learn to control their abilities and the disease can be harnessed at will. Werelions are a type of lycanthrope found in the provinces of Blackmarsh, Cyrodiil, and the more humid regions of elsewhere, although On Lycanthropy mentions their existence in the Imperial Province, no werelions are encountered during the events of the Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Werebears, a type of lycanthrope, are unique creatures found primarily on the island of Solstheim, which was once a territory of the province of Skyrim. Covered in thick brown fur, they closely resemble werewolves in behavior and abilities, but are distinct in appearance. Legends suggest that the Daedric Prince Hircine once used Solstheim as a hunting grounds for lycanthropes, which might explain the prevalence of werebears on the island. Werebears are often spotted in both their human and bear forms, but regardless of their current state, they are identified as werebears. They mostly reside in colder areas of Solstheim and can be hostile, usually attacking in groups of 2 or 3. Upon death, some werebears revert to their human form, and they can be looted for items like honey, honeycomb, and human flesh. Distinctly, they are often seen wearing ragged trousers. Functionally identical to werewolves, werebears share similar animations and audio. Walking on digitigrade legs, they unleash fierce attacks with their claws and teeth, and also possess a powerful lunge attack that can knock adversaries off their feet. Facing a group of up to 4 werebears can prove challenging for any adventurer. Despite their similarities and apparent connection to Hircine, werebears and werewolves on Solstheim seem to maintain a strained relationship, as evidenced by accounts of werebears attacking werewolf packs. Adventurers can summon a werebear using a power granted by the Beast Stone after completing the quest, Cleansing the Stones. It's worth noting that players cannot transform into werebears themselves. Certain spells can influence werebears, such as the Dead Thrall spell, which works on them in human form. The character, Maik the Liar, humorously referenced them in Skyrim with his quip, "Werebears, where? Bears? Men that are bears?" In Skyrim, werebears are legendary and are a cause for caution. Many residents believe in smearing canis root on trees to repel werebears. Some reports even link werebears to regions like High Rock, the Imperial Province, and Morrowind. Lentulus Inventus, an anthropology enthusiast and member of the Order of the Horn, investigated the claims surrounding werebears. Despite numerous rumors, he found little substantial evidence to support their existence, except for a tale from Carson Hammerback concerning the Silver Hand, known lycanthrope hunters. For Inventius, many of these stories likely stemmed from ordinary bear attacks. In earlier versions of the Dragonborn DLC, silver weapons did not affect werebears, but was eventually patched later on, and occasionally, werebears in animal form have been heard using standard human voices, making statements like, "Where are you?" Were-crocodiles are a distinctive type of lycanthrope believed to inhabit Tamriel, primarily residing in the provinces of Blackmarsh and Morrowind. In-game sources indicate that this lycanthropic affliction is predominantly found among the Argonian population. The unique environment and natural habitats in Blackmarsh and Morrowind make them the ideal territories for such creatures. An intriguing account from the Infernal City mentions rumors in Lilmoth, a city in Blackmarsh. The whispers in the city suggested that a man was plagued by this rare condition and was responsible for frequent attacks and fatalities among the city's inhabitants. However, as the story unfolds, it becomes evident that this was a misleading tale. Furthermore, Mirglim, an Argonian resident of Lilmoth, expressed strong skepticism about the existence of were-crocodiles altogether. One of the challenges in verifying the presence of were-crocodiles is their tracks. It appears that the footprints of an ordinary crocodile are nearly identical to those of a were-crocodile, making it challenging to discern between the two. The were-shark stands as perhaps the most enigmatic of all lycanthropes within the Elder Scrolls series. While there are rumors of its existence, no direct sighting of the were-shark has been documented in the series. The book, On Lycanthropy, hints at the possible habitat of this elusive creature, suggesting that the seas surrounding Tamriel may be its domain. Werebats are a unique species of giant bat predominantly found in two locations, Shademist Moors and Shademist Enclave. Although they exhibit traits suggestive of lycanthropy, it's notable that the tracker skill utilized by the Fighters Guild doesn't affect them. Wereboars are unique lycanthropes that embody a half-man, half-boar fusion. They have been known to infect others with lycanthropy upon attack, transmitting the Wereboar curse. Armed with powerful arms and sharp teeth, Wereboars can pose a significant threat. To effectively harm them, one needs weapons of silver quality or higher. These creatures are primarily located in the provinces of High Rock and Hammerfell. Individuals who suffer an attack from a Wereboar may risk becoming one themselves. Upon infection, the victim will undergo a transformation every full moon. Wereboars have been exclusively featured in the Elder Scrolls Daggerfall. Werevultures are a unique form of lycanthrope that inhabit the continent of Tamriel. These creatures have a particular stronghold in the province of Valenwood. Believed to be born from the Bosmer populace stricken with a lycanthropic disease, werevultures have grown to be a significant concern within Valenwood's borders. In the book, Lycanthropic Legends of Skyrim paints a grim picture of the situation in Valenwood. The werevulture population has exploded to such an extent that they could potentially endanger regions beyond their native habitat, including the heartland of Tamriel. This rampant growth suggests that they could be a formidable adversary if introduced into the Elder Scrolls game series. One traveler lamented the unfruitfulness of their journey to Skyrim, expressing hope in the possibility that Skyrim's lycanthropes might hold distinct powers that could aid in combating the werevulture crisis. With increasing reports of their dominance and horror tales recounted by people like Galeon, the threat they pose is undeniable. This traveler plans to revisit Valenwood during the next summer peak for a more detailed study, intending to provide a comprehensive report to the Council. Within the different strains of lycanthropy, there also come different subtypes. Man-beasts are unique lycanthropes distinguished by their perpetual bestial humanoid form. Unlike typical werebeasts, who can revert to their original appearance, man-beasts are locked in this hybrid state. Their physique is a blend of light fur, diminutive feathers, or a leathery skin. Depending on the specific werebeast lineage, a common trait amongst all man-beasts is their notable orange eyes and a hunched posture, rendering them an amalgamation of their beastly heritage and their original mortal form. Contrary to those in complete beast form, man-beasts maintain their cognitive faculties, making them more intelligent and less ruled by primal instincts. The amalgamation of their cursed strengths and their natural abilities enables them to proficiently wield magic and weapons in combat. Their shadowy complexion, characterized by gray skin and orange eyes, is an adaptation for proficient hunting in low-light conditions. Due to their distinctive appearance, which varies based on the individual's race and werebeast strain, man-beasts often find it challenging to seamlessly integrate into conventional mortal societies. However, their enhanced intellect, combined with their unique set of abilities, can sometimes offer them niche roles within certain communities. True beasts represent an advanced form of lycanthropy, a special reward granted by Hircine to his most devoted followers. Skin changers blessed with this ability can undergo a transformation not only in their humanoid beast form, but also into a true beast form, taking on the full and authentic characteristics of their respective animal. For instance, a werewolf with this gift can seamlessly transform into a regular wolf. Even in the true beast form, Skin changers preserve their full cognitive abilities, ensuring they maintain their consciousness and intent. While embodying the true beast form, skin changers continue to harness most powers associated with their particular strain, despite not being in a humanoid shape. The true beast form allows skin changers to blend in flawlessly with their animal counterparts, rendering them indistinguishable from ordinary creatures and providing an unmatched disguise amongst them. Werebeast Lords stand as the pinnacle of lycanthropic evolution, representing powerful beings that fuse humanoid stature with the primal essence of beasts. While maintaining a humanoid shape, Werebeast Lords also display pronounced bestial qualities. These lords merge individual racial traits with their respective beast characteristics, similar to man-beasts. However, the balance in Werebeast Lords is impeccable, integrating raw bestial instinct with human intellect seamlessly. Werebeast Lords transcend the constraint of time, ceasing to age. They gain an immortal lifespan vulnerable only to lethal combat. Possessing the unique ability to control any werebeast they create using their own blood, Lords exert unmatched dominance in the werebeast hierarchy. The transformation into a Lord is irreversible. Once transformed, they can never return to their original mortal form. The transformation into a Werebeast Lord isn't ordinary. It's a divine blessing bestowed only by Hircine, the Daedric Prince. This gift is reserved for those who exhibit unwavering devotion to him. Legend has it that the very first lycanthropes that graced the world were Werebeast Lords, emphasizing their importance and supremacy in the lycanthropic lore. Werebeast Behemoths are the formidable titans among lycanthropes, possessing an overwhelming stature and superior might than conventional werebeasts. As behemoths, these werebeasts exhibit a colossal size, dwarfing their standard counterparts. The behemoth form amplifies innate capabilities with a distinct emphasis on augmented strength and endurance, making them virtually unstoppable in combat. Embracing this form immerses the werecreature in their primal urges, akin to the intense bloodlust seen in ordinary werebeasts. This grandiose form is a special reward from Hircine, awarded only to those he acknowledges as the most elite hunters. Unlike conventional lycanthropy, the behemoth transformation isn't transmitted through infection. Those afflicted by a behemoth revert to standard werebeast forms. Ascending to behemoth status requires Hircine's favor. However, there's speculation that alchemical means might also facilitate this transformation. In addition to lycanthropy, Hircine is responsible for the gift of many artifacts. The Ring of Hircine is a Daedric artifact crafted by the Daedric Prince. It often appears as a metallic ring with a wolf's head engraved on it, though at times it has been seen as a spiked leather buckler. The ring offers its wearers the temporary gift of lycanthropy and permits existing lycanthropes to control their transformations. Possession of the ring ensures that lycanthropes are not dictated by the moons or driven by bloodlust. However, Hircine penalizes those who acquire the ring illegitimately by causing unpredictable transformations. For non-lycanthropes, the ring can sometimes offer extended life or the ability to turn into a werewolf. It impacts werewolves and werebores and possibly other lycanthropes. A key event surrounding the ring involved Thurston Heartfang, a leader of the Skull of Soltheim. He held the ring for generations, which granted him prolonged life. However, during the Blood Moon prophecy, after being captured by the Hounds of Hircine, he met the Nerevarine during Hircine's great hunt. Using the ring, he transformed into a werewolf but was defeated by the Nerevarine, who then took possession of the ring. In the year 201, the Fourth Era, the Forgotten Hero sought the ring after hearing about its presence at Thornwell Farm near Riften. The ring was being used to control the lycanthropic tendencies of the farmer's son. The ultimate fate of the ring in this scenario is debated, with some claiming the hero left the ring with the farmer, while others suggest the hero took it and was subsequently cursed. Another notable event involved Sinding, a Nord werewolf who stole the ring to control his transformations, only for Hircine to curse it. Imprisoned in Falkreath for a crime committed during an uncontrolled transformation, he passed the ring to the last Dragonborn, who sought Hircine's favor to lift the curse. The Dragonborn's ultimate decision regarding Sinding and the ring is uncertain. The Savior's Hide is the reward from the Daedric quest titled Ill Met by Moonlight. To obtain the artifact, Sinding, the werewolf, must be killed and skinned. Upon Upon completing the task, Hircine makes an appearance to claim Sinding's werewolf hide. He then reveals that he has imbued the hide with his Daedric might, converting it into the legendary Savior's Hide. The Totems of Hircine. The Wolf Skull Totem, also referred to as the Totem of Fear, is a carved wolf skull adorned with feathers. Historically, it has been utilized by shamans in blood rituals for the creation of lycanthropes. This totem intensifies a werewolf's aura, causing those around to tremble in fear. The only exception to this are individuals who have directly witnessed the visage of Hircine. The totem is believed to be worn by Storbeg, the man-beast, the wolf aspect of Hircine. Storbeg, mirroring the essence of the wolf skull totem, is revered among the Reach folk for bestowing mortals with the gift of skin shifting. This gift serves as a reminder to mortals that they can be predators rather than mere prey. The Totem of the Brotherhood is a seemingly ordinary drum. When beaten, this drum performs the blood call. This allows for two main actions, summoning pack members and calling prey for a hunt. Lastly, we have the Totem of the Hunt, otherwise known as the Wand of Bone. This wand was crafted from a shard taken from Lork's ribs. It can confound any mortal and enhances a lycanthrope's sense of sight and smell, making it difficult for prey to escape. Rounding out our artifacts of interest, we have the Rings of the Werewolves, starting with the Ring of Bloodlust. It's described as a simple silver ring with a significant ability to amplify the wearer's physical strength at the cost of their defense, and it only activates in beast form. The Ring of Instinct, a silver ring adorned with a purple gem akin to an amethyst. It alters the wearer's perception of time briefly after transformation and only works upon transformation. The Ring of the Hunt, a silver ring set with a red gem similar to a ruby. It augments the wearer's natural healing capabilities, and it's effective when the wearer is transformed. Lastly, the Ring of the Moon, a silver ring embellished with an orange gem resembling a garnet. It enhances the benefits lycanthropes gain from attuning to the Totems of Hircine. Lycanthropy has far-reaching impacts on the different cultures and relations in Tamriel. Lycanthropes, often known as werewolves, are largely feared and reviled across Tamriel. Their presence is identified through subtle signs, such as untraceable wolf howls or mysterious animal tracks that vanish abruptly. While some societies might show varying levels of tolerance depending on a lycanthrope's control over their condition, others might resort to killing them immediately upon discovery. In Skyrim, to repel werebears, inhabitants apply canis root to trees and fences. During the Interregnum, a period of deep political strife, Imperial soldiers, if infected with lycanthropy, were advised to report for prompt execution. In Bosmer society, wood elves abide by the Green Pact, which strictly forbids beast transformation. Those who defy it might be condemned to the ooze. Revering Hircine, the Reach folk often have lycanthropes among them. For some, it's a form of self-sacrifice for their clan, while others see it as a gift. Their champions, often lycanthropes, act as clan guardians. However, their views can sometimes lead to conflicts with groups like the Viridian Word. In certain rare families, lycanthropy is inherited. Though dormant for generations, it can resurface in later descendants. Comprehensive crusades against lycanthropes might be fruitless unless these unique families are eradicated. The Skal of Solstheim possess various protective and detection practices concerning lycanthropes. They believe silver-capped, mummified wolf paws can repel werewolves. Their shamans use spells to identify recent lycanthropic infections, especially post a werewolf assault. However, these spells can't detect established werewolves. From a philosophical perspective, the Skal view lycanthropes as an aberration, arguing that humans shouldn't lead dual lives as both rational beings and animals. Many individuals and groups dedicate themselves to tracking and exterminating lycanthropes. Prominent among them are lone werewolf hunters or small teams. Organizations like the Order of the Silver Dawn, the Silver Hand, and the Vigilance of Stendarr. Some even use a fragrance distilled from werewolf musk either as a cosmetic or to deter these creatures. The Order of the Silver Dawn, often simply referred to as the Silver Dawn, is a prominent militant faction known for hunting werewolves. Originating in the mid-Second Era, during the chaos of the Interregnum around 428, the Second Era, they spread their influence across Tamriel, establishing strongholds and bases in various locations. Their primary headquarters is the Argent Mine, a rich silver mine situated in the highlands of Hrothgar. This mine not only served as their main base, but was also their principal source for silver, crucial for crafting their specialized weapons. Another significant stronghold was Moonhunter Keep in the hills of Calovia, used for researching a cure for lycanthropy. True to their name and purpose, Silver Dawn armor is crafted from werewolf hides, providing robust protection while minimizing skin exposure to potential werewolf attacks. Their weapons often incorporate silver. Moreover, they employ the Great Daanian Hound to track lycanthrope lairs. Various temples of divines are also known to collaborate with the Silver Dawn against werewolf threats. One renowned member, Sir Broncus, was famed for shooting an arrow through 9 werewolves simultaneously. Their specialized ranks included purifiers, leading knights, units, and commanders and captains overseeing operations. The order was founded during a widespread pandemic in High Rock known as the Curse of the Crimson Moon in 428, the Second Era. Adeliza Silveraxe, in a heartbreaking act to save her village, killed her lycanthrope-afflicted son. In his memory and to rally support, she crafted a banner using drops of her blood, which became the Order's emblem. Over time, members would add their blood to this banner as a rite of commitment. By 582, the Second Era, the Silver Dawn faced a decline, losing control over their territories and strongholds due to werewolf clan invasions. Significant losses including the overtaking of the Moonhunter Keep by Vycosa, the Ascendant's wolf pack, and the Argent Mine falling to Magnar Child Eater's Magnar pack. Captain Abedius and Commander Adonatus Varian attempted to reclaim Moonhunter Keep. Though the Undaunted assisted and discovered a potential lycanthropy cure, the fate of the Silver Dawn and its members remained uncertain. The Silver Hand is a dedicated organization whose primary mission is to hunt and eradicate werewolves. Their opposition with the Circle, an elite subgroup of the Companions, stems from the fact that members of the Circle are lycanthropes. Silver Hand warriors predominantly wield silver weapons, renowned for their effectiveness against werewolves. However, their arrows deviate from this trend and are typically of varying levels. They serve as the main adversaries in the Companions' questline. The Vigilants of Stendarr are a dedicated faction of warrior priests and nomads who worship Stendarr, the god of mercy. Their primary goal is to protect mortals from various threats, such as vampires, werewolves, and witches. However, their primary adversaries are the Daedra, whom they view as profane entities that seduce and corrupt souls. The Vigilants actively seek out Daedric artifacts to prevent them from wreaking havoc on Tamriel. Discovered artifacts are secured in the Hall of the Vigilants, located in Skyrim. Should they suspect a location or household to be a haven for Daedra worshippers, the Vigilants will enter armed, ready to confront and neutralize the threat. While their main goal is hunting threats, the Vigilants also offer cures for various ailments, including lycanthropy. However, those seeking their aid must vow never to align with the Daedra. Typically, a Vigilant of Stendarr is clad in robes complemented by heavy boots and gauntlets. Their weapon of choice is a mace. The most notable pack in the Elder Scrolls series is the Frostmoon pack, located in Frostmoon Crag, nestled south of Mount Mosring and northeast of the Abandoned Lodge. The location features a modest camp situated beneath a rock overhang, and it's home to the Werewolves of Solstheim. Led by Majni, the Frostmoon pack boasts the title of being the last genuine werewolf pack in Solstheim. The mantle of alpha leadership runs in Majni's lineage. Both his father and grandfather have held the prestigious positions before him. Raquel, another pack member, has ancestral ties to the pack through her parents. Akar, Majni's sibling, is known for his reclusive nature and is not particularly friendly. Tortoise, another member, originally belonged to a pack that was decimated by werebears. Currently, she stays with the Frostmoon pack, hopeful that they'll aid her in retrieving her territories. The members of the Frostmoon pack cherish their freedom and prefer the uninhibited life of the wilderness. While they tend to be wary of outsiders and dissuade non-werewolves from approaching their camp, they extend a warm welcome to fellow werewolves who abide by their codes. They deeply revere Lord Hircine, the Daedric patron of lycanthropy. They not only celebrate their condition, but also worship the deity behind it. As a gesture of goodwill, Majni presents an exclusive opportunity for werewolves in Hircine's good graces. He sells 4 rings, each blessed by their cherished Daedric patron. Lycanthropy played a part in numerous notable events throughout Tamrielic history. The Blood Moon Prophecy is a sacred legend of the Skull, an indigenous group of Nords hailing from Solstheim. The prophecy speaks of a recurring event every era where the Daedric Prince Hircine arrives on Nirn, accompanied by his hounds, seeking mortals to participate as quarry in the Great Hunt. These chosen mortals are either transported to Hircine's hunting grounds or hunted directly on Nirn. The Great Hunt is preceded by 4 signs: arrival of the hounds, the appearance of werewolves on Solstheim. Second, fire from the Eye of Glass. A distinctive pillar of fire surfaces on Lake Fajalding. Third, Tide of Woe. The shores of Solstheim are littered with the bodies of massacred Horkers. Fourth, the Blood Moon. The moon Secunda adopts a blood-red hue due to the hunter's actions. Post these signs, the hunter's game or the Great Hunt ensues. Its nature can vary, sometimes targeting an entire tribe or just a singular individual. After its conclusion, Hircine retreats to his realm, marking the end of an era. One notable blood moon occurred in the year 427, the Third Era. This particular event culminated within the Mortrag Glacier. Hircine summoned Solstheim's 3 paramount champions, Karstag the Frost Giant, Captain Falx Carius of Fort Frostmoth, and Tharstan Heartfang, the Skull Chieftain and bearer of Hircine's Ring. The involvement of the Nerevarine in the hunt remains ambiguous, whether as a hunter or the hunted. Participants had to navigate a labyrinth filled with werewolves to confront the hunter. The Nerevarine managed to defeat one of Hircine's aspects, strength, speed, or guile, resulting in the glacier's collapse and the termination of the hunt. Hircine's Great Hunt and the Blood Moon phenomena are not exclusive to Solstheim. A notable instance is the Great Hunt in the Chimera of Desolation, which is predominantly a Daedric event. The Blood Moon can be observed across Tamriel, marking locations where Hircine has initiated a hunt. The significance of the Blood Moon Prophecy seemed to have diminished among the Skull by year 201, the Fourth Era. Werewolf presence on Solstheim dwindled with only a handful remaining, specifically the Frostmoon Pack led by their alpha, Majni. Interestingly, the island witnessed a surge in werebear populations, challenging the territories traditionally held by werewolves. Another notable event was the Umbreon Crisis. Prince Atribus and Saul sought a swift route to Vivec City. Saul had previously devised a path leading out of Oblivion, culminating in Morrowind, which he used during his entrapment in Umbreon. The pair planned to use a dormant Oblivion Gate, a remnant of the Oblivion Crisis, to tap into this trail. Instead of reaching their intended destination, they found themselves in Hircine's hunting grounds, immediately becoming the targets for Hircine and his monstrous beasts. Sol, familiar with the terrain, was aware of a door leading out of Hircine's domain. To expedite their escape, they mounted Khajiits from the Fosh clan. As night fell, Hircine, alongside a horde of werewolves, initiated their hunt. The haunting call of a horn signaled Hircine's imminent approach when they were still 50 yards away from the portal. A Khajiit named Lespa made a heroic sacrifice when, together with the remaining Khajiits, valiantly chose to confront Hircine, buying Atribus and Saul precious time. Their noble act likely ended in their demise, but it ensured the safe escape of the 2 travelers. A notable group in the Elder Scrolls series is the Circle. The Circle is a notable subfaction within Skyrim, primarily made up of the senior members of the Companions. The Companions are Skyrim's esteemed warriors guild reminiscent of the Fighters Guild chapters found in the other areas of Tamriel. While they trace their roots back to Ysgramor, they've notably functioned without a designated leader. Erlin Greymane, a renowned blacksmith in Whiterun, elaborates that the elder Caldlac Whitemane fills the role of the Harbinger, acting as a guiding counselor. Their unique structure and absence of an official leader is further highlighted by their very name, the Companions. The tradition of the Circle was initiated by Cyrano Longnose, a renowned harbinger from the Second Era, named in honor of Ysgramor's Council of Captains. The Circle's primary role was to inspire and guide the younger novice members of the Companions. Over the eras, the core essence of the Circle experienced a deviation culminating in a secret transformation wherein all its members became werewolves. It was Terfig, a former harbinger, who introduced the Companions to lycanthropy. He brokered a pact with the Glenmoral Witches, wherein the Companions would hunt for Hircine, their lord, in exchange for formidable power. The Companions, however, were misled, not anticipating the permanence of this transformation. The perspectives on lycanthropy are diverse within the Circle. While Kodlak and Vilkas consider the beast blood a curse and seek its cure, Sikjor and Ayla, the huntress, deem it as a blessing. This results in a tradition continuing, albeit with Kodlak's reservations. Following Kodlak's demise and the subsequent removal of his lycanthropy, both Vilkas and his twin, Farkas, express a wish to be rid of the beast blood. Their intention is to avoid Hircine's hunting grounds in the afterlife. And that concludes our deep dive into the were creatures of Tamriel. Thank you to my subscribers for coming up with the idea for this video. I cannot take the credit for this one, but I do hope you all enjoyed it. And please, please, please keep using the comments. I do listen and I do read every single one of them. So any ideas you have, please throw them my way. I'll see you all in the next one.